Recording in progress. All right. Hello, everybody out there. Give me 1 second while I fix this so my sister can record. And I'm blind, not wearing my glasses, so I have to like sit on the computer here. Make host. There we go. There we go. Tame, you are host. Okay. So, hi guys. Before we get started, it's funny, I feel like I'm sliding back into the old days here where I used to get up here and have a little chit chat before I actually started taking some readings or taking some calls and doing some readings. And let me tell you, I woke up this morning with a bug up my butt, just itching to be able to communicate. I was driving my kids to school this morning and I heard the radio talking about these new. See, I have to come up with code words because I don't want them to kick this video off, right? And we're literally living in, sometimes it feels like that country that starts with a C and ends in an A and has an H and an I and an N in there. I can't really say the whole thing together or this whole video will be pulled down. So I really want to talk about this because every day that I wake up, it feels like more and more I'm waking up in that country and not this country. And I know a lot of people out there are feeling the same thing with these new, shall we call them rules instead of what they actually are. And you guys, a lot of people are facing a situation right now of what do we do if we don't go along with this? And I mean, these new rules are saying that if you don't want to lose your job, then you have to card people and ask for their identification and ask for their history, right? And things like that. And here's the thing. This is what sparked me this morning was that I heard the people on the radio doing a conversation or having a conversation around this subject. And they were saying, guys, be nice to the people that are behind the registers, the cashiers, and the clerks at the gyms and stuff. It's not their fault, and don't yell at them. And while I agree, we should never yell at them and have any violence or anything, I disagree that there is nothing that they can do about it and that it's not their fault. It's all of our fault. It's all of our fault that the world is doing this because we are complying. People comply because they just want it to be over, but it's never going to be over because you are complying. If we all band together and we all say, we're not doing this, I'd rather lose my job and live in a cardboard box under a freaking bridge than have to watch people die because I chose to go along with what was legal at the time. You guys, it's so frustrating when I have studied history for years to understand and see clearly what is going on before our own eyes, but people are so manipulated by the little black box on the wall and by their favorite characters and things like that, and by the powers that be. They believe that they have more power than God, than us. And let me tell you, they don't. There is a great war going on in this world between good and evil. And if you choose to do what evil tells you to do, and only you can decide that. I'm not sitting here telling you what evil is or what evil isn't. You get to decide what is evil and what isn't. And if you go along with evil just because you're worried about losing your job or whatnot, then you're going to reap the same consequences, not rewards. You're going to reap the same consequences as those committing the evil. Think back to Nazi Germany, how many years ago? And I remember, it's interesting that this is all going on now because I remember that being so enamored with that in my head when I was a kid. Like when they started teaching it in school, I just couldn't wrap my head around how did the world let this happen? And now we're living it, one job at a time. I want to give you guys a couple of little nuggets for those of you who are trying to find the information for yourselves and do your own homework. For those of you who actually want to go down those rabbit holes, let me tell you something. That movie that I shared very early on in this, when I started speaking out and lost almost all my social media for it, it's called FALL. of the CAB, and I'm doing this on purpose, very slow, and then add an A and an L in there. There's now a sequel to this movie out, and I highly suggest that you watch it because it goes back in history and explains how this has been ingrained throughout our society and how we've reached this point. And there's so many people that are feeling hopeless out there. I have so many people coming to me right now, and I'm an empath, and I can feel your panic. And it's got me praying for people every single night before I go to sleep. The thing is, you guys, that if you tune into this, if you tune into your heart and you ask God, Yahweh, Allah, whoever your higher power is, I don't care. Well, I do care who the higher power is. Do not ask, like, you know what I mean. But you know what I'm talking about. The higher power, the good ones, right? God. If you ask them to show you the way, they will. There is always another answer. If you are in fear mode and you're like, yeah, but Tracy, I've been in this job for like 10 years. I finally am like working my way up to the place I want to be. And now you just expect me to quit for it or get fired? Yeah, because you know what? People's lives are on the line here. I watched videos of a nurse yesterday, you know, defending the fact that there's certain drugs that they are not allowed to prescribe right now because they actually cure this thing that's going around, which I can't say, right? So they're not allowed to prescribe those drugs. Why? Because if there's a drug that cures it, then they can't push they can't, because that's in the rules. If you're going to push up, you have to have, or you can't have a drug that cures it. So that's why they've hidden it. And I watched a nurse stand there and freak out about a doctor trying to prescribe this medication for somebody who was sick. And or I guess she wasn't a nurse, she was a doctor, and she lost it. She was like, no, you can't do that. I'm not losing my job over this. We're not allowed to do that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You'd rather that man lose his life. I can't even with the insanity in this world, you guys. I'll tell you this. I was in that position some time ago where life offered me a choice. You either follow the, you know, what the powers that be say that you're supposed to do, and you sacrifice your children, that's the way I felt at that time, having to put them in daycare and things like that, just so I could go get a regular job and live on peanuts. It just felt like sacrifice, having somebody else raise my kids. So I found another way, and here I am. It led me to my greatest passion in this world. It led me to feeling like I have a purpose and that I'm helping people and I'm making more money than I ever did in their little club. And I know that each and every single person out there struggling in this position, having to make that choice between standing on the side of evil and mandating this. Oh, I just said that word that I'm not supposed to say, or standing up for what is right, because I want you to all consider something. For anybody who is on the side of the fence that doesn't think that there's any complications going on or that there's any deaths going on let me tell you, I'm working death. I see it every single day. And I see 10,000 times higher than I did when just the illness. And I want you to consider this thought, you guys, that one size does not fit all when it comes to what we put in our bodies. You can have 100 people in a room and give them all a peanut butter sandwich, and 90% of them are going to be just fine. But there's 10% that are going to kick the bucket because they're allergic. One size does not fit all. And that is just a very basic summary of what you should be thinking about right now before you decide to mandate this on every single person in society. So I just wanted to say that, because hearing the radio talk about this morning saying, oh, these people have no power, they have no choice, it's not their fault. Yes, they do. They do have power. Walking out the freaking door, excuse my language, you guys, that is your power. Saying we will not comply, gosh darn it, you guys, that is our power. Stand up and stop being afraid, because I can't take this no more. I can't, I'm losing it. So anyway, I'm not losing it, but it just frustrates me. Because the bottom line is, I'm going to get off this subject in a second, because the bottom line is that I know 100% what have I been talking about this entire 5 years that I've been up here talking to you guys, is that when we make our choices based on love for ourselves and our family, and we pray on it and we ask God to show us and illuminate the path, and we don't get scared and we don't make our decisions based in fear, he will show up for us every single time. We are all connected. So whatever we need will show up at the right moment, at the right time, if you are believing in that connection. It just will. I once needed a snowblower at 7 a.m. in the morning on Saturday. I know many of you have heard that story. And I got it simply because I asked for it, I prayed about it, and I believed in it, and bam, it showed up. So hang in there, you guys. If you're in this situation or you know somebody that's in this situation, please advocate on behalf of our children and our grandchildren who don't deserve to grow up in this kind of society. Okay. Anyways, here we go. I had a lot of people ask me, I went over this really quick last time I was here, the iodine. For a lot of you that have been going through brain fog, the toxic chemicals that build up in our brains and stuff, and because we are moving from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. And again, this is all connected with what I was saying, right? The third dimension is very physical. It's believing in man, what you can see and touch and feel, that's physical, right? The fifth dimension is believing in the higher beings, in God, in your spiritual beings, in love, in the higher forces, and connecting to them and letting them guide you through, right? So one of the things that they guided me to when I was having all kinds of brain fog and fibromyalgia. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I'm just telling you guys what worked for me, and you guys can do your own research. But one of the things that I stumbled upon was that 10,000 mcgs of iodine will completely clear some brain fog. It will help you decalcify your pineal gland. It has helped eliminate the symptoms of my fibromyalgia. So I brought it to show you which one I take. It's about $50 a bottle, but considering that it eliminates all the medications that I would need, that to me is a pretty good deal. There's many different kinds, just so you know. This is just the one that I use. What you want to look for is the real stuff, because they try to sell you this synthetic stuff, which is clear and doesn't do anything. So this stuff, as you will see, is like, I don't know if you guys can see that, it's like red. So it'll either be, the good stuff is red or orange. And I think this one is 400 mcgs per drop. You can get them between 400 and 1,000. The trick is to take about 10,000 mcgs per drop. Or I mean, yeah, per drop, per what do you call it? Dose, I guess. You just put in a little bit of water and gulp you back. The other thing a lot of people have asked me about is this right here, collagen. From this company, BioTrust, just in case you guys didn't catch that the first few times I brought it up here, because I've had a lot of questions on it. This is the other thing that completely eliminated my symptoms of, not completely, I shouldn't say completely, I would say decreased my symptoms of fibromyalgia by 95%. No joke. I just was taking it for my menopausal symptoms for my hair and nails and skin. And within a week or two, it completely eliminated my any pain throughout my body and blew my freaking mind. And then I started researching, why is my pain gone away from collagen? And it turns out that a lot of autoimmune disorders are caused by a lack of collagen. Of course, they're not going to tell you that, because they make a lot of money selling you the medications that deal with the symptoms of these diseases. So anyway, that's all I got for that. Now I'll jump into the readings. Sorry guys if that's a little heavy, but I know there's a lot of people with businesses out there that are really having a hard time, and I don't want anyone feeling like you're powerless, because every single one of us, our actions speak louder than our words. Do something, stand up, and this will go away. Comply and it gets worse. Okay, so where am I going? Alyssa, I'm going to start with you, because somehow I feel like your question is kind of centered around something to do with this. I don't know how to explain it. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Actually, my question, kind of, but not really. I'm just like in a really weird spot in between. Obviously, you know, where you have been in the works of starting a new business, and I feel really good about all that. But things are, I'm being kind of pushed to, like, literally so stupid, get a new vehicle. And a part of me is like, no, just ride it out. And the other part of me is like, no, cut your losses and just get a new vehicle. And I feel so torn. And then I'm worried about the Mercury retrograde and all that stuff. So I just thought I would see what you think.
Okay, well, let's take a deep breath and do the connecting exercise. And then I want to address what you just said, because I think if we break down the way that you just said that to me, you'll be able to see that your choice is really easy there.
Yeah.
Or will become very easy if we tweak the way that you're talking to yourself a little bit here. So let's do this. You ready?
Yeah.
Both feet flat on the floor. I want you to close your eyes, and then I want you to take a deep breath. Picturing that deep breath, starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. Okay, so you know what they showed me? A little bit of the 5-lane highway, and they're showing me my house here. Okay, so let me back this up so you can understand what I'm getting by this. Have I ever explained to you the 5-lane highway?
Yes, I know that analogy.
Perfect. So that's, I'm just going to summarize it real quick for everyone here, which is where you've been asking life for something. And yeah, I'm trying to find a shorter version of the story, but it's not helping. Hold on a second. It's where you're praying for something. If you think of life like a highway and you're in the far left lane and you're praying to go to Happy Town, but Happy Town is like 2 miles up. There's an exit for it coming up 2 miles, and you're going, God, take me there. And God's like, okay, but you got to change lanes. You got to move. You got to make some changes over here. And you're going, no, I don't want to make changes. I'm good right here. I'm good right here. And God's like, well, no, you're not. You can't get to Happy Town from there. You can't reach the exit. You got to move over here. And this is where we get stubborn. And when you were telling me this question, that's kind of the energy where I feel you're in, is that you've been asking to go somewhere, but you're kind of stuck in your comfortable energy, right? And God's going, no, 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 no. There's something better coming up here. And then I see my house in this analogy. Now, what I mean by my house is that when I moved into this house, it had like a little mud room downstairs and a little coat rack area. And I never thought anything of it. I just thought it was a cool feature of the house. Turns out my center is now downstairs and I have a coat room in my house because God was planning this before I even knew what I needed. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like there's something about what you've been asking for to move forward, that there's something in this new vehicle that you are going to need somewhere down the line. However, where the Mercury retrograde comes in is that we have the tendency to view it through a twisted perspective, through a negative perspective, which is what you were saying, should I just cut my losses? Well, when you get a new vehicle, usually it doesn't feel like cutting losses. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
the perception right there, when you said that, it's like, oh, wait a minute here, that there's something that's trying to come into your world, but you're a little comfortable with what you have. And you can't see how beneficial the new one coming into your world is going to be from where you are now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm in a weird spot because the one that I have is about 7 months from being paid off, and but it needs some work. So it's kind of like, when I say cut my losses, I mean, like, I love my vehicle and for some reason I'm like emotionally attached to it. And so, you go into another vehicle and it makes the most sense to lease through your company and so on and so forth, right? So then you don't own it anymore, and all the uncertainty of the times, I'm like, well, I don't know what I want to do here.
So this is how you change it around in your head. You go, you know what, Alyssa? I deserve the security and stability of the future. I deserve to know that I'm in the most safest, or I don't know, what's the even word I'm looking for? The most productive and stable vehicle that I could have for me and my family. And this is what I need to do to move forward. And I know that if I pray over this car and I trust God that he will take it to where this car needs to go, The way that I was able to do it, because I was in love with my car too. It was just a little Dodge Journey. It wasn't anything special, but it was my first car, my first brand new car. I was emotionally attached to that like my baby. And I just literally thanked God for making sure that it went to a good home, knowing that it was going to a good home. And then I was envisioning the person getting it being so excited that it was well taken care of, well maintained, that it had everything done to it, that it didn't need any work. It was such a perfect little car. And I envisioned how much the new person was going to love this car. And if you spent more time visualizing that than you do visualizing how horrible this situation, then you will ease into a brand new car that's going to take you to your future, which is what you need. And trust me, somebody else is waiting for this car. And as you're talking about it needing a little bit of work, this is telling me that they need it now, sweetie. They don't want to wait until you pay off this next $700 or whatever it is. They need it now. God will inspire birth when it's time. And what I mean by birth is that feeling, that uncomfortable feeling, that's birth. Because is it birth fun? Does it feel good? It's time.
Depends on who you ask.
What?
Depends on who you ask.
Well, this is true. Depends on who had the birth experience. Mine, let me tell you, 41 and a half hours of intense labor 28 years ago, before epidurals were really a thing. No.
Yeah,
not fun.
So fun.
But the pain or the uncomfortableness is the symbol that it's time to grow.
Yeah.
And so just change the way that you're looking at that situation and watch the way it immediately changes the way you feel. And not only that, but talk to your car and be like, you're going to have the best new owner. Somebody's waiting for you. Be as good to them as you were for me. And do you know what I mean? Like that. And I promise you'll feel better about it.
I also I pulled my own cards this morning, just to kind of see what comes. Like I specifically pulled 4, and they basically, what they kind of said from just like straight up, what I know of them, and then just reading their descriptions, because I'm not like you or whatever, and it's hard to read for yourself, I find. It was basically like patience, and then at the end, when you're ready for this rebirth, like it was the 10 of Cups, right? Which is obviously we know is like amazing. So I was like, oh, well, do I wait?
Immediately. The 4 cards.
What were they?
Yeah, sounds to me like you got the 4 of Swords and the Hangman, or the Hangman.
It was the first one was the Temperance, and then the Magician reversed, and then the One of Pentacles reversed, and then the 10 of Cups.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at you. Okay, so Temperance is things flowing from the unknown and the unseen into the known and the seen. So what was I just telling you when this began? That God was trying to move you into a position where you can receive what you've been asking for, but you're not wanting to move, right? So Temperance is where they're trying to flow this information that you need a new vehicle. But then the next one is what did you say? The Magician reverse?
Yeah.
So the Magician is manifestation, making something happen. Yeah. And it's reversed because you're not willing to change lanes. You're like, nope, I'm not moving. I'm staying right here. I'm not doing it. I'm right here. Right? It's a lack of manifestation. And then you had which one?
The one of
the Ace Pentacles. Of Wands reversed. Or Ace
no,
of
no, no. Ace of Pentacles reverse.
Interesting. So that's telling you that you're preventing a new beginning from coming into your world by refusing to let go of this card, which is what I was just telling you. God is bringing you to the next level, and you can't take the old card with you. It's not going to get you where you need to go. I don't know why, because you're not in that chapter yet, but eventually you will be. Your job is to recognize the signs of labor and growth, and to let it go with peace and love, so that you decide where it goes based on your intention and your emotion around that card. So when you decide where it goes that way and you welcome in what God is bringing you this way, it equals the 10 of Cups.
Okay.
Which is happy, family, contentment, everything you've asked for. Absolutely. but you have to deal with your inaction and the way that you are perceiving this, because you are blocking the opportunity from coming into your world. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I keep seeing a van or like a 7-seater or something like this.
Yeah, it's right now I have a 7-seater Suburban and I'm just looking to get a new one, basically.
There you go. You're going to love it. Get excited about it and watch what happens in your world. And just so you know, I want you to understand one other thing, that your hesitation on acting on this was actually for your benefit. And I want to tell you why. Because you weren't in the frequency to make that decision yet. You were in the frequency of uncertainty. And had you have acted on that decision in the frequency of uncertainty, then you would get things that match that vibration. So
Okay.
you haven't moved forward on that because you don't want the things that match that vibration. So the trick is to change the way you are perceiving it first. Have a talk with your car, have a talk with your inner being, connect to the vision of what you want. Thank God for bringing it in, and then watch the magic happen, sweetie. This is how you create your life moving forward, and you work with the ebb and flow of nature and of our higher beings that are with us every single day. This is them coaxing you through this and using a simple little car to train you how to receive their blessings when you've asked for them. Because it's one thing to ask for the blessings, it's another to get into the receiving vibration of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you get into the vibration of being extraordinarily excited and eager to welcome this new vehicle, it is going to be the best new vehicle you've ever had. And just so you know, sometimes I still feel a little bit guilty for loving my Jeep so much.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, awesome. Well, that makes me happy, and I appreciate the input because
Awesome.
you know me.
Can I just say too, I'm loving, I clicked on your I saw on my news feed, actually on my Instagram feed the other day, because I try not to follow my members or people I don't want to know your stuff, but I saw this video come up, like, you know how there's all those reels, and it was you. I was like, oh my God, I know her. And I clicked on it. I was like, oh, that is so amazing. So do a quick plug for your business right now.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've been trying to do reels just to get a little bit of a following before we do our big launch. But we're super excited. We finally have everything on the go, and we should be providing organic stone milled flour right away for Calgary and anywhere. Honestly, we can ship it anywhere. So
so where do we go to get that? How do we get it? Where do we go to get that?
Yeah, so it's just betterbasicsmilling.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram. It's the same thing, better.basics.milling.
And see, I love that you're here today of all days, because what was I saying in the beginning? That we vote with our actions, right? And this is, we need to support your business because it's not full of the chemicals and the bull that's in all of the other stuff in the big box chain stores, right? So
absolutely. And the short supply chain, like we are directly supporting our farmers. From our farmers, we pick it up, we mill it, we bring it to you. And it's super, super important, especially in these challenging times, to have the shortest, food chain that you possibly can. So we're trying to have that for our clients.
Awesome. Yay. Can you give me that address one more time before we pull back?
Okay. betterbasicsmilling.com.
betterbasicsmilling.com.
Yeah, better basics is basically like, we want you to have better basic essentials in your house. No more garbage. Like, you're going for flour, you're going for oats, you're going for whatever it is, it better be the best one. And that's what we're going to give you. And then Instagram is better.basics.milling. So
better.basics.milling on Instagram. Awesome, hon. Well, I can't wait to see this grand opening. I'm so excited for you. And those reels look amazing.
Oh, thank you. It's all about the homesteading over here. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much, Tracy.
You have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Okay, Rose, I'm coming to you. Steph, I'm coming to you too. Don't go away because I can feel your grandma here, but I'm coming to Rose first. Because your daughter's like, hello, you see me here, right? Hello, 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 hello. I'm like, yes, I know you're there. Interesting. Okay, are you ready to do this?
Yes.
Okay. So she's already talking to me. We haven't even done the connection exercise. Interesting. Okay, stop, kid. Okay, let's do this. Ready? Both feet flat on the floor for a minute. I want you to close your eyes, and then I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and I want you to blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. Okay, so interesting. So I do know that your daughter is on the other side. She steps forward right away. There's a mother figure with her, but then there's a father figure as well. But the father figure is not related to the mother figure. There's two different sides. I don't remember who everybody on your family is, but I feel like I've spoken to all of these people before. Is your dad on the other side, hun?
Yes.
Who's the mother figure with her? Is this your ex's mother-in-law or your ex?
My grandma.
Okay.
My mom's mom.
Okay. But okay, so well, when you say that, I see her step forward here though. Would it make sense that your daughter is with somebody who is not related to you, but is a mother figure above her?
A
Interesting.
mother figure above her.
Interesting. That's okay. I don't know what she means by this.
A relative or a friend?
It could be a friend because they don't feel related. There's no blood relation.
I have two close friends on the other side.
So she's bringing one of them forward. Interesting. I don't know if this person has come through before, and I'm not sure why they're coming through now. They always know better. I don't know why. They know why. Hold on a second. Is one of them a female?
They both are.
Okay. Slow this down. This one has a very motherly feel to her. Very kind of, I don't know if she was motherly to you or to your daughter, but they step forward with the signs and symbols that will help you identify who they are, right?
Okay.
Right away, she shows me that she's feeling so much better. I do feel like she was in a state of pain or multiple illnesses throughout the body before she passed. And I think it must have gone on for some time, or she was just in a lot of pain because she has so much relief to be free of that on the other side. Like she's making me feel like she's like floating over there. Like it's very light.
I wonder if it's my friend Sherry.
I got a reaction when you said that name. I heard, well, who else would it be, girl? Like
Oh,
this
geez.
real high energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
She's like, just so you know, I've never seen them step forward like this before, but I see like Laverne and Shirley from like way back. And she's like, chewing gum and stuff. Like, I don't even know how to explain that. I've never seen them chewing gum before, but she's literally showing me chewing gum. And then she gives you a bunch of gum. What is with this? Did you just buy a bunch of bubble gum? Do you chew bubble gum? What is with the gum?
I don't know.
Interesting. Over there. She's giggling. I don't even know how she passed. I know she's been there some time ago. I got your dad wanting to bring some energy or some validations in and the mother figure here, but she's here too. There's something going on in your life, hun, because you've got all your loved ones stepping forward in protection around you, all of them, even people that I haven't read for before, and you've been a member for a couple of years. So there is something going on in your world right now, because they usually only do that when there's something that they need to surround you for, right? And what's interesting is when I was giving that little dialogue in the beginning here, your daughter told me remember when I said, wow, she's already talking to me. We haven't even done the connection exercise. she was like, well, Tracy, that was a big mouthful for my mom. Like, slow down. That was a lot for her to take in. So I don't know if you had not heard a lot of that yet.
No, I haven't. I haven't been watching the news. I've been away and helping my mom, and yeah.
Your dad's like, that's why I'm here, and that's why they're all coming in. As soon as you said helping my mom, I don't know if you could hear or feel, if anyone else could hear the change in your vibration. Has she been sick or stressed because they put the white blanket around her shoulders?
A little stressed. House rentals.
So you're married, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to have to make that choice or not between getting it, or I don't know how to explain this. There's some type of choice he's going to have to make coming up regarding his job, because he works and you stay home with your mom and doing other stuff, right?
No. Bella, no.
So this could be you. All I know is she's showing me some type of choice that's going to have to be made coming up. And that they're bringing your entire family around you to say that make your choice based on love. They will get you through it. Don't even worry about it. Your dad, I want to go to him now because he's kind of changing the energy here. He's like, don't make her afraid. We're not trying to scare her. And now he's like showing me materials and stuff bringing in, and he's doing some aligning and showing that he's helping to bring some materials in that I don't know what this means. Did you get wood for really cheap or something like this? Do you know what he's talking about? He's showing me like wood, and he's showing me like the dollar sign, and he's putting X's around it, which I'm guessing means cheaper. I don't know what that means.
I don't know, because we're past that stage. Everything's done. Now it's basically like, because you have two households moving into one household. So there's a lot of boxes, a lot of
Yeah. So as you
simplifying.
say that, I get really even hot and sweaty. I can feel the stress around that. Even as you say, two households moving into one, it's like it gets stressful, right? He's going back to the wood. So I know that was some time ago, but let's go back to that situation for a minute, okay? Because I know, please forgive me, I don't follow every single thing to the T and remember exactly when it happened, but I know in the world there was some kind of wood shortage or something like this, and prices went through the roof.
Prices went, yeah, bad.
And this must have been during or around the time that you needed the wood, because he's showing me that he was able to intercept that, redirect, and get you an amazing price, or to be able to help with that in some way, shape, or form. Either he got you a discount or he got you the extra money to be able to pay for it, or there was some way that he intervened in that. Do you understand?
That would be towards my mom, so maybe.
Because I think what he's trying to do is prove that if he could do that, he can do this. He can help with this. Throw this down. Who just cut their hair? Why do I keep seeing that like short curly hair? Like they keep
I know anyone who's just cut their hair. Everyone's hair seems to be going crazy right now.
I keep seeing, like, you know, that Laverne and again, Laverne and Shirley, and I don't think I've ever seen that in a reading before, ever. So I don't know why he keeps showing me this, and I keep seeing the hair, like, you know, the short curly hairstyle back then. So
Mhm.
I don't know if maybe they're referencing that this is like the watching you two is like watching that show, or if there's like I keep seeing like these women, so I'm like, what are you talking about? The hair, like what? Because he keeps pointing at them.
We all need haircuts.
And
Unless my brother cut his hair, I don't know.
does your brother have curly hair?
He has curly hair and he's growing it out for Kids for Cancer. And as far as I know, it's getting close to the length. So I don't know if in the last few days he's cut it or not. I don't know.
That would make a lot of sense too, with why he keeps taking me to the hair and showing me curly hair and showing it to me. It's in my library, right? So they can only show me what's in my library to get me to say what they need me to say. So you get the message you need to get. And I don't know your brother has curly hair, and I don't know he's waiting to shave it for cancer. But once I know that, it makes perfect sense why your dad would be bringing that up. And why there would be a teasing nature around it, calling them Laverne and Shirley.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm not
yeah.
in your life, so I don't know why the heck he would be teasing about this until you say that, and then I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, I'll have to see if he cut it yet. Huh.
If he
Last week
didn't,
it was still long, so
well,
I don't
if
know.
he didn't, just let him know that dad knows what's going on. He was very insistent that we talk about the curly hair, and
Okay.
I'm very proud of him. Goes down. Your daughter really wants you to know that she's enjoying getting to know grandpa on that side. And then how do I understand the grandmother figure here? Because she makes me feel like either she didn't know her very well in the physical world or at all. I don't know if this grandmother passed before she was born, maybe. But they're showing me the handshake, which is where we are getting to know each other much better on that side, or greeting for the first time. Sometimes making peace, but I don't feel that.
Yeah, she was little. She was little when she passed.
It's interesting. I can feel I'm glad that you're working with your mom right now. It's a blessing in disguise. It really feels like when you started this project that you didn't know that it just felt like a project, but really it's saving your life because you've tuned out all of the negativity in the world around you and you have something to focus on. And it's the love for your mom and doing what you have to do every single day. That is tuning you out to the negativity. And I tell people every day, that's all you have to do in order to get to where you want to go, is just immerse yourself in love, light, and peace and joy every single day. And you'll get to where you need to go. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. I don't know what this choice is that you or your husband is going to have to face coming up, but I can feel it coming up. And your daughter and all of your loved ones on that side are just saying, just remember that you have more power than you think you do, and that they've got your back. So if you're confused on what choice to make going forward, just ask for them to light the path for you, and they will. Your daughter, as they're pulling their energy back, your daughter kissed your cheek and then she sat down at the table. She's like, oh, I'm coming for dinner. What are you cooking?
Chicken cacciatore.
And that's her favorite.
She likes it.
So she knows.
I haven't made it in a long time.
So see, that's her in your mind, inspiring you to make one of her favorite dishes. And she's in that. She's with you. Oh, she loves you so much. She's like, I had to tell her that just to prove that we know what we're talking about for, as far as this woohoo shit goes. Oh, excuse my language. That get out of my filter.
Yeah, that would be her. That would be her.
She loves you so much, hon. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, thanks.
Very welcome. Well, I would, kiddo. She's like, are you coming for dinner? You should try this stuff. All right, I would, but I think she's a little far away. Where are you? You feel quite far away.
Carstairs.
Oh, that's not that far. That's like an hour, not even.
It depends where you are in Calgary. My other daughter lives near the airport, and it takes me about 35 minutes.
So yeah, about an hour because I'm in the south.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, enjoy dinner.
Thanks.
Okay, so Steph, I'm coming to you. And I'm flooded with a bunch of emotion and pictures in my head already. You know what song I'm hearing before we even get started? I'm hearing this song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Have you heard that song before?
I've heard it, yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Are you ready?
You bet.
Okay, both feet flat on the floor. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body and blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. You know, Steph, I got to tell you, I really do appreciate your grandma. There's certain people that I've been reading for some time that their loved ones on the other side have just helped me, I think, as much as they've helped you with their
Mhm.
wisdom. And she stepped forward immediately and she just presented this warm, fuzzy feeling all around me. And then she said that she wants to remind you. First, she said that to tell you that she's very proud of you because she wants to remind you that the way that we heal the traumas of the past is by bringing them out one by one and looking at them. It's not by running from them. It's not by putting them away in a closet and hiding them so that we don't deal with them. It's by little things coming up little bit by little bit and healing it, not shoving it away, but healing it. And there is some challenges in relationship wise that I feel you guys have been doing recently that has been doing just that. It's like you're taking these little challenges out of the closet. They might be popping up one by one, just little ones. And your grandma is reminding you that this is because you have the tools to heal it now. And that it's coming out little bits by little bits because it's not more than you can handle. Because if it was more than you can handle, like Dukes of Hazzard, more than we can handle, then you have to shove it in a closet so that you can only deal with one little piece at a time, right?
Right.
But I feel like those little pieces, so now we know what we're talking about here, are coming up one little thing at a time in order for you to heal each one of those little things. Because on the other side of that, that's why I'm hearing somewhere over the rainbow, because it's not for nothing. It is for something that you are healing that area and moving forward. And there's some kind of reassurance about when we heal it this time, because I feel like there's more communication than ever before. And as that communication comes up, and you need to insist on that communication, because as that comes up, it literally clears the past away so that it's not there anymore. All that's left is the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I can feel this energy changing in your home. She's talking about, it's interesting because there's like two different energies going on. It's very busy. I can tell you that. Like my head almost hurts. It's so busy. I
Oh,
don't
my
know.
head hurts.
I keep track of everything. I can feel the boom, 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 boom. But at the same time, there is an energy of, let me see if I can explain this emotion. It's like a grateful peace mixed with a slight, I don't know if worry is the right word, or a slight uncertainty about the future, but there's a greater peace that exists. It's like both are simultaneously going on at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it would make sense.
She's reiterating again that some things we don't, because I don't know what, again, this is sitting on the fence. It feels like school. She's wanting me to tell you about my kid going to school. So I'm not sure why. Get to this in a second. So I had zero idea where my kid was going to go to school this year because of the whole face diaper thing and all of this, right? And literally being bullied by some of the staff, not just the kids last year, the staff, for being exempt. So this year I just prayed about it and prayed about it and prayed about it. And then the day school was starting, he was still not in a school. So on the way home from driving my daughter to school, because she's in her final year of high school, so that was easy. I was like, God, you still haven't told me, like, where's he going? I know you're going to, so help me here. And then I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and she's like, what school is Caleb going to? And I told her that I didn't know. And she's like, well, my daughter, who has been best friends with my son since kindergarten, she's like, she's in this school. And it turns out that that school is in the district of my son's father's address. And that school has some of his peers in it. And it's a specialty art school that has a dance program that he has been wanting forever, and has class sizes limited to 25 or less, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And every other year they are completely full up. But this year, they just happen to have some space for some grade sixes. in like that. I didn't worry about it. I didn't stress about it. I just prayed on it and it aligned in when it was supposed to. She's wanting me to tell you that story because there's something that I feel like school related, like choices around school going on with your kids that they want to help you with. Do you understand the problems with the face diapers here? I can't say the actual M word because they'll
Yeah.
go down.
Yeah.
He's a little rebel, isn't he? Is this your son?
Yeah.
Thought so. I love his like energy. I'll tell you that. He's like, sure, you teach. Like I can feel that. I want to breathe today energy.
Mm.
Oh, just know
He's
that
actually suspended from school right now.
for that.
No, he stole the soap dispenser so that people couldn't wash their hands because he's tired of everything. So he
That's-
brought it home.
See, and I don't have that. He brought it home. Oh my God. I love this. This is why your daughter, or sorry, this is why your grandma's bringing it up. You see what I mean? Why I don't know why they bring up certain things because I'm not in your life, but she knows. Oh gosh, she's talking about that he's a little rebel and that he's just sick of this. And you know what, honey? Don't be too hard on him. Seriously. Make sure you let him know that this is not okay way to express his emotions, but give him another way to express his emotions and validate his emotions. Please don't punish him for that. I mean, there's got to be some consequences, obviously,
For sure.
for otherwise he will repeat it. But I mean, at the same time, I hope that you express to him how much you can understand where he's coming from. And if you can give him a way to express those emotions in a way where he feels heard, then he won't feel the need to steal the soap dispenser off the wall. What is your son's name?
Tristan.
You go, Tristan. That boy, man. I know you don't want to hear this. High five, Tristan. Because
Yeah, when the principal called me, I'm like, are you sure? Like, and I go into his room and I'm like, did you steal the hand sanitizer soap dispenser from the boys' bathroom? And he's like, he just looks at me, he didn't say anything. And he like pointed to the closet and there it was. So I was like,
oh my God. Stephanie, do you know what? This is a story you are going to be telling 20 years from now. This is the color in the story, okay? So don't worry. He is a beautiful soul. I love his soul energy. I'm telling you right now. I know we, as parents, we can't condone that kind of behavior and we have to lay down some kind of consequences. But at the end of the day, you go, Tristan, because I agree with him. I'm over this too. I'm over it.
Yeah, he's actually waiting to go to another school too.
So see, this is his way of saying, yeah, you know what? Let me help up the birth process here. We're going to make it really uncomfortable for them to keep me here. Done.
Yeah.
He wins.
Yep. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
I see what I mean? He is ingenious. He's connected to his inner being. His inner being told him exactly what to do. He didn't hurt anyone. He absolutely did not hurt anyone. And he made his point and he got his feelings across. So you good job, Tristan. Good job, Mom. That's good parenting. I know that you probably didn't look at it through that way, but it is absolutely good parenting that he feels that he has the right and that he just takes it upon himself to express himself in a way that makes sense because the people around him are not making any sense. And he
No, for sure.
And
It was bad timing too. Like our other son caught COVID from his AA tryouts, and I just got done calling the school and like, sorry, but you know, this is what it is. And then the principal's like, well, about that, Tristan stole the hand sanitizer from the boys' bathroom. So not only did we spread COVID everywhere, he also took the hand sanitizer. So I was just like, oh, that you can't make this stuff up. Like,
you can't. But you know what? You can be grateful for it because that's just the color in the story. That
for sure.
Tell him he made my day. And
yeah, I will.
give him a pen and paper and tell him that there's better ways to express himself that don't come with consequences, but that we love his spirit, and to put it on paper so he can share it with the world.
For sure. Yeah.
And just know your grandma's got his back. She loves him so much too. And she's totally very much with you, because there's no way I would have known that. And
Mm-mm.
yeah, she's so with him, loving it every step of the way, and loving the way that you as a family have bonded together over this issue, and that you're raising your children in consciousness, not
Mhm.
to just obey the people in charge, because the people in charge are not always right. There's a
Mhm.
difference between what is right and what is legal. And your son at what, 14, 13?
13. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm gonna let her pull her energy back, because I think if you just like lighten your mood around that a little bit. I can feel the energy change as we talk about it this way, and you can see the humor. I think you were viewing it a bit heavier earlier, like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
what's
for
happening?
sure. Because he stole it more than anything.
Right, but I mean, come
Yeah.
on. I stole jawbreakers when I was a kid just to see if I could get away with it. And when they called the police on me, I peed my pants. Never did it again. So, I mean, sometimes these things have to happen now so that we don't do it worse when we're older, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So this is teaching him that there is inappropriate ways to express our emotions because they lead to consequences, and there is appropriate ways to express our emotions that lead to rewards. So this gives you an opportunity, a beautiful opportunity, how to train him to express them in a powerful and positive way. This is a beautiful opportunity in
For
disguise.
sure.
And I'm very proud of him, not for stealing, but for sticking to his truth and
Mhm.
believing in his truth more than the craziness that's being shoved down his throat.
Yeah. No, for sure. Definitely.
All right, hon. Just know that she's there watching over you. She said you're doing a great job. Just change the way you perceive this. In the relative scheme of things, I want you to look down the picture and ask yourself, is this really going to matter in a couple of years that he still soap dispenser, or is it going to matter in the sense that we're telling this story to his kids? And I'm telling you, his kids are going to love that story. Let me tell you.
Oh, I bet they will.
Think about Nazi Germany in the 50s. When they are clearing out all the Nazis and they're telling all the stories. Grandma, what did you do? Or Grandpa, what did you do to stop them? I stole the soap.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Oh, my word.
See?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, goodness sakes. All right, hon. Have a great rest of your day. Go smile, laugh it off, give the boy a hug and a pen and paper, and watch
Yeah.
what comes out of him, because I bet you will be amazed at what he has to say.
Probably. You're probably right.
Awesome.
Well, thank you. You have a good day.
You too. All right, you guys. Bye.